Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're back with a new episode of Chernobyl, episode 3. We'll be halfway through this show.
I'm right. I was gonna say after we watch, but then I'm like, that's a little bit past.
Yeah, that's 3/5 of the way there. Wow. Every episode, I really like the pacing. I like this type of show is like really my style.
I was just thinking, like, it's only 5 episodes, but they sure do cover a lot of ground.
They cover a lot
each episode, which you kind of have to when it's a mini series.
Yeah, so. We were talking before we started recording about just the last episode, and like so much happened. Like it was the beginning of the episode was Professor Legasov coming in, and in my mind I was thinking he's been there 2 episodes,
right?
But it's only 1. So the whole like story of him like
unfolding the oh my gosh,
the disaster, what happened,
the disaster, or like the specifics or the actual details of what's happening,
and convincing them that he's right, because that was the other thing. Like they took him along for the ride, but they're just because they had to, they didn't really want to. And then when he finally realized, not him, but the general, I forget his name, but the guy he was with the whole time.
Shabina.
Is that right?
I think so.
Nice. You're better with names than I am. But it like dawned on him finally, and he's kind of been like, he's taking a backseat a little bit.
Yeah. The gravity of the situation
really hit him. And at the same time, you have that physicist from the other institute, that lady who's like piecing things together on her own. And like she should have been, I mean, I'm glad she did, because if it wasn't for her coming in last second, they would have thought they had more time.
Right. So at the end, kind of like towards the end of the episode, like the last 10 minutes of the episode, I feel like, I don't know.
Yeah, or so.
She finally meets with them, and it's like, you don't have that much time. He's like, what?
Yeah, if the water.
She's about the tanks that were full.
Yeah, which could be way worse. So now it was the cliffhanger was those 3 guys went in there, and I guess they lost their lights because of the radiation, and they have to turn off the pumps.
Okay, just remembering that now,
that's
the sound of like the. Oh my god! I remember how stressed I was. Like, so stressed.
You're in there. You don't know what's gonna happen. It's also pitch black.
They're already stressed because they're thinking, we're sending ourselves to an early grave, pretty much. Even though they weren't told that, I think they can piece it together. They know the extent of the situation. They had to have known. Like,
I don't know if they knew that they'd be dead that fast. Maybe they think they can live.
Right. I think they're thinking maybe it'll make me extremely ill, or
I wonder how much of that is true. And that's the stuff. Like when this show's over, I'm gonna go on a researching binge, because that kind of stuff's crazy to me. But anyway, that's where it left off. Hopefully they get the water. If they're able to close the tanks or seal them or drain them, I should say.
Right.
Then they can continue with their original plan. Which is kind of like what is the original plan? Like dropping the sand and the boron to
put out the fire that just keeps blazing. The fire isn't even extinguished after days.
Is that just to give them more time to evacuate? But then what's the plan to like actually stop that reaction from happening? Did they say?
Well, it's an unprecedented event, so they don't have an action plan really. Because,
except to how to slow it down.
Like what I'm gathering is that they never thought this was even possible.
Right.
Like how does a reactor core blow up? It doesn't.
I wonder if they talk about that.
Like it doesn't even do that. So how can they can't even fathom the idea.
We haven't got clarity as to how that happened, because those 2 guys said that they made a mistake.
There was a mistake, but we haven't circled back to that yet.
I can't remember exactly what their plan was to actually stop it from releasing radiation, or at least slow it all as much down as possible.
Right.
So,
but then he's already been talking about like with the wind, it's already carried so far.
Well, that's the thing. The big thing is just stopping or suppressing it as much as possible now, because it's like, however, he used like the atomic bombs as like a reference point, as to every hour it's like 4 atomic bombs or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, because then it starts like contaminating the ground, then you get it into the water, then you get it into it's like an invisible enemy or something. Poison. You know, like
and if that thing explodes, like then it would like make it way worse. It'd spread all around the surrounding countries, like millions of people. Ugh. So a lot of pressure on this one. But we're gonna go ahead and hop in. Before we do, guys, please consider subscribing to our channel. Help us grow. We have some fun stuff in the pipeline coming. Also, if you want to check out the full-length reaction, it is over on our Patreon, as well as access to later episodes, future episodes. If you want to check them out over there. Otherwise, we're gonna go ahead and hop into episode 3. So the dosimeter's still working? I mean, you know there's radiation, just turn it off. Oh, I think you need it to work? Oh, is it?
They're like those like pump. Remember those flashlights you could like wind up?
Yeah. Oh, is that a backup flashlight maybe?
It's like a mechanical flashlight. Come on, guys.
They're probably thinking, just turn this sucker off. It's stressing us out.
I know.
Oh, man. This way, Don, I'm outside. I feel like they should have protective gear on as well.
They're like so close, right?
Yeah.
That's what I don't understand.
Well, he has a mask.
Is it possible that the water has already killed them?
Yes.
Then what?
We try again.
If it doesn't work.
He's like, it has to work. There's no other option. So water is just like gushing.
I wonder how they even figured that timeline to 48 to 72 hours. Like, what if they're overestimated?
Right.
Hopefully they.
Now what?
Oh,
that's the main valve or something.
Maybe.
And they're trying to turn it off for it to stop the flow of water, or they're trying to drain it out. Like this all needs to drain.
Yeah, they're trying to open it to drain it out. So they sent 3 for a reason. Why 3? Is there 3? Are they supposed to separate, or is it like redundancy? Oh.
Because then maybe the odds of them making it back out.
Oh, they made it.
Oh.
They feel proud, man. But
don't like drop dead. That's what I'm afraid of. Like, don't get your clothes off.
I know.
He's looking at them like
they're gonna.
Aww.
That's kind of sad.
Right? I mean, it's like he had like a moment of realization on his face right there, like, oh, I can't believe we had to do that.
I'm here to see my husband, Vasily Ignatenko. He's a firefighter from Chernobyl. I have permission.
Chernobyl? I'm sorry, no visitors.
Well, but Major Burov told me, he said...
No exceptions.
Please, I've come all the way from Kievskaya Oblast.
Wow.
She's like, will this work? Did it actually work?
Wow. Wonder how much that was.
Excuse me.
Who knows?
Excuse me.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
I have a pass.
You can't be here, it's not safe.
I am here to see my husband, Vasily Ignatenko. He's a firefighter from Chernobyl.
I know who Ignatenko is, but you can't.
I have permission. I've...
You can see him for 30 minutes. Not a minute more.
She was gonna give more money.
You cannot touch him in any way. Do you understand? Room 15.
Wow.
Thank you.
You're not pregnant, are you?
No.
Uh-oh. Is she sure?
That face didn't look sure.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, definitely.
She's like thinking she's gonna see him like half dead.
Look who the cat dragged in.
What did I tell you?
Oh, she's not mad. But don't touch him. Don't touch him. No.
It's easy.
Why?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
She literally just told her.
Well, there's obviously not a lot of like supervision there.
I know, but there was so many layers to try to stop her.
I know.
Like literally from the initial hospital to the lady at the reception.
I mean, how hard would that be? Especially because like you walk in and he's not like looking like he's on his deathbed or anything. He's sitting there playing cards. So there's like this level of like extreme relief.
She has to think like you're not pregnant. Like put 2 and 2 together, you know.
But they also, I mean, as sad as it is, they should not have let her go back. Because she's just a visitor. So now she's gone, exposed herself even more to extreme radiation, and now is going to go out.
Or at least explain why you can't touch them.
Someone decided that the evacuation zone should be 30 kilometers when we know here, cesium 137 in the Gomel district, that's 200 kilometers away.
It was decided.
Based on what?
I don't know.
Oh, man.
Forgive me. Maybe I just spent too much time in my lab. Is this really the way it all works? An uninformed, arbitrary decision that will cost who knows how many lives made by some apparatchik, some career party man?
I'm a career party man. You should watch your tone, Comrade Legasov.
He's like,
well,
exactly the point.
There's a spike in zirconium-95. It's from the cladding on the fuel rods.
Meaning what?
The meltdown has begun.
They've just been nonstop bringing that sand in. I wonder from where? Where do you get sand?
That much sand? Like you just, is there a beach nearby? Like.
She's sleeping in the hallway. Oh God.
I can't be in here. Get out.
That's her husband. Like, how is she just sleeping in the hall as well? Like.
Oh, what was that? Was his skin
his skin was
melting?
Burning more?
I'm not sure.
But how did it go from playing cards to that? Like.
I don't know.
Yes.
Oh.
Put him through. Well?
The fire's nearly out. The bubbler tanks are being drained. We have successfully eliminated the risk of a thermal explosion.
And?
He
The
knows.
situation inside the core is deteriorating faster than anticipated. Legasov estimates a 50% chance that the fuel will breach the pad and melt down into the groundwater itself. The primary water supply for approximately 50 million people, not to mention crops and livestock, would be unusable. We're recommending we install a heat exchanger under the pad to lower the core temperature and halt the meltdown. And in order to do that, I'm told that we will need
$1 bazillion.
all of the liquid nitrogen in the Soviet Union.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Whatever you need, you have it. That should be clear
Yes.
by now. Anything else?
No. Thank you.
Yes, I'd like to address the 30-kilometer exclusion
Oh
zone.
no.
Wait, Professor Legasov, is that you? What exclusion zone?
Minor details, General Secretary. Premier Rishkov has determined that.
If he determined, then he determined. Look, Professor Legasov, you are there for one reason only. Do you understand? To make this stop.
I don't want questions. I want to know when this will be over.
If you mean when will Chernobyl be completely safe, the half-life of plutonium-239 is 24,000 years, so perhaps we should just say not within our lifetimes.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
Right.
I was like that.
But at the same time, he's just saying that this is ridiculous.
This is ridiculous. Like nobody is taking this as serious as they need to.
What will happen to our boys? What does the radiation do to them, precisely?
Oh, the level some of them were exposed. Ionizing radiation tears the cellular structure apart. The skin blisters, turns red, then black. This is followed by a latency period. The immediate effects subside. The patient appears to be recovering. Healthy even, but they aren't.
Maybe that's what was happening to him.
Yeah, I think so. That's what they're
That
talking about.
firefighter.
Cellular damage begins to manifest. The bone marrow dies. The immune system fails. The organs and soft tissue begin to decompose.
Wow.
The arteries and veins spill open like sieves.
My gosh.
To the point where you can't even administer morphine for the pain, which is unimaginable. Within 3 days to 3 weeks, you're dead.
3 weeks like that?
That's extreme pain.
That is what will happen to those boys.
Oh, man.
What about us?
I'm kind of curious, too. If we're lucky, cancer.
Gotten a steady dose, but not as much of it. Not strong enough to kill the cells, but consistent enough to damage our DNA. So, in time,
right,
cancer or aplastic anemia, either way, fatal.
Well, in a sense, it would seem we've got enough easy then. Harry.
All those people from the bar.
Now you know why I wanted to take a walk. You can presume the work site is bugged. And our rooms, even our bathrooms.
They've been here the whole time.
Of course they've been here the whole time. But if we're seeing them out in the open now, it's because they want us to know.
Wow.
Have we seen?
They're working with, I don't think that's coal. I don't know. I don't
know what to work with.
Who's in charge here?
I'm the crew chief.
I'm Shadov, Minister of Coal Industries.
Oh.
We know who you are.
Though he's dressed.
How many men do you have?
On this shift, 45 here, 100 in total.
I need all 100 men to gather their equipment and get on the trucks.
Do you? To where?
That's classified.
Oh my god.
Come on, then. Start shooting. You haven't got enough bullets for all of us. Kill as many as you can. Whoever's left, they'll beat the living piss out of each of you.
You can't talk to us like that.
Shut the fuck up. This is Tula.
Right. These guys are pretty hardened.
We don't leave unless we know why.
Yeah.
You're going to Chernobyl.
Have they heard what happened?
What's happened there?
We dig up coal, not bodies.
The reactor fuel is going to sink into the ground and poison the water from Kiev to the Black Sea. All of it. They want you to stop that from happening.
How are we supposed to do that?
You didn't tell me because I don't need to know.
Well.
Do you need to know, or have you heard enough?
Wow. Imagine. Their bodies are probably messed up enough just from breathing all
right.
that in.
He's gonna shake his hand. Oh, or that, yeah. Are they gonna all do it? It's like a funny way of saying like you in your nice suit.
Now you look like the Minister of Coal.
I hope you didn't like that suit. Oh man, that's just a different.
Right, he's right. He's like, we'll start shooting us.
Is he knocked out?
His skin.
Oh man.
Oh,
no.
Boy.
I told you no touch.
Oh, now he says.
It's not safe.
They touch you.
No, this lady.
Safe for them and safe for me.
The blisters. Oh my god, that's bad.
Oh, it's her.
Oh yeah. Well, that's why she's dressed like that then. Oh, she snuck in. Is she going in as a nurse? You think?
Oh no.
Oh.
I don't know if they ever got the information. You know?
I'm not eating that shit. Give me something else.
I'm not a nurse, Comrade Dyatlov.
Oh, that's Dyatlov?
Well then, comrade nuclear physicist. Unless you happen to have a butter and caviar sandwich on you, you can get the f out of my room.
This is Dyatlov yet? Like, well, I guess he had always had a thing over his head, but I thought he had long hair and.
I think he did. Burned off.
Do you think he's gonna tell her what she needs to know though? Is he willing? Well, he was the first one that was in denial.
Yes. And he was not like allowing them to do things.
Right.
That they
kind of started with
like
him.
that felt instinctual to the men.
So what's the job?
We need to install a liquid nitrogen heat exchanger underneath this.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, they have to go like.
There's no way to approach from the interior of the building, so you have to get at it from underground.
And what's above the pad?
The core of the nuclear reactor.
Oh my gosh.
Melting down.
Is it going to fall on top of us?
Not if you're done within 6 weeks. Because we need to keep disruption of the ground above to a minimum, you can't use any heavy machinery. It
Oh
has to
my
be done.
gosh.
Oh my god.
We're going to need more men. 400 at least.
Wow.
We'll have to work around the clock. How deep do you want this tunnel? 6 meters?
12.
12? Why?
For your protection. At that depth, you'll be shielded from much of the radiation.
The entrance to the tunnel won't be 12 meters below ground.
Exactly.
And we're not 12 meters below ground now.
He catches on quick, guys.
We have some equipment here on site. More will arrive by midnight.
These are some of the sometimes the smartest people.
We start now. I don't want my men here one more second than they need to be. If these worked, you'd be wearing them.
Yeah. Man.
They say tell the truth. They can see right through you. Oh my gosh. How hard that would be. They don't even have goggles and all that dust.
So they just take turns.
And they're smoking under there. Oh goodness. But I get this is like the work they're used to. Underground, all the.
But this is already how much they've done, or is this just like where they're starting?
What's up to?
50 degrees.
50.
Hey!
What's what up to?
Hey, you!
It's getting hotter in there? I'm assuming it's 50. Would that be 50 Celsius? That's really hot.
I know that it would be. So what is that?
We need fans.
For what
Yeah, it's probably like 120,
What do you
100.
mean for what purpose? It's 50 degrees in there. We can't breathe without masks. We can't breathe with the masks. It's like an oven. We need ventilation.
Fans will put dust in the air. The dust will go in your lungs.
I've been breathing dust in my lungs for 20 years.
Not this dust. I'm sorry. For your own good. No fans.
Well, what do? Cooling towels? You gotta do something.
Not this dust. He's probably thinking like, what the heck did we get ourselves into?
I'm a nuclear physicist with the Chernobyl Commission. I want you to tell me everything that happened on the night of the accident.
He can probably barely speak.
Is that all right?
Oh my god, his eyes.
Oh.
Oh,
yes. Remember he was
get it
like,
off his
we made a
chest.
mistake.
My name is Leonid Fedorovich Toltonov. And I am the senior reactor control chief engineer at Chernobyl nuclear power plant.
Senior engineer. How old are you?
25.
28.
I'm 25.
He guessed right. So were they just giving these roles to anyone, or was he just really smart?
She's thinking you were.
He's just a kid,
nowhere
yeah.
near.
Have you been here this whole time?
Exactly.
No one said I should leave.
Oh my god.
I did.
She said 30 minutes.
Well, where have you been? When he's in pain. And a sore stick to his gown when he soils himself 5 times a night. I've been looking after him. Where have you been?
I've been in the north and west wing, where there are dozens of patients from Chernobyl exactly like him.
Right.
It isn't safe for you.
He's
here.
my husband.
Not anymore. He's something else now, do you understand? He's dangerous to you.
He's burned.
Oh my God.
Go home.
Explain to her, please. Like, go home.
I don't want him to die alone.
So she understands that.
She knows.
Stay on the other side of the plastic. Or I'll have you removed by security.
See, she just keeps allowing her. It's like, give her some
right. But the thing is, they
cue.
probably won't even cross paths again for another day or so. So she'll just. What's she thinking?
I'm not sure.
Nervous about
either that or like some. Ugh, I know, right? Like.
So you can like take the like curtains down and take him outside.
Something. Roll him through the. That's what I'm saying.
Did she go inside?
Yes, my love. It's nighttime now.
That's. Oh, it looks horrible.
I dream. It's gone.
Everything's decomposing inside of him.
We're gonna have a baby.
Oh my God. Is she saying that really, or?
She knew she was pregnant. Remember we said that from the very first episode. The thing is she doesn't know the extent. She doesn't know the danger. Because no one's really saying anything.
She thinks that he's just burned. She doesn't understand that there's radiation transferring to her.
Exactly.
And that
she's thinking you just have burned skin. Like, how is that hurting me?
I mean, if she put 2 and 2 together, like, you can't be near him. He's dangerous. No more than 30 minutes.
No, but I'm annoyed that they just won't say to her the extent of it.
I'm sorry to bother you, Deputy Minister, but it's the miners.
Oh, they're taking all their clothes off because they're so hot. Oh, okay. Hello. Oh, they're just like revolting against.
This is the way to do it, I guess.
They're getting some attention. Wow.
Does he just like
Did
casually?
He just wave like, yeah. Oh, hello. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Okay. Wow.
What? They wouldn't give us fans. It's too hot for clothes. So we're digging the old way. This is where our fathers mined.
It's just a different.
You're not as protected. No.
You tell me to make a difference. When this is over, will they be looked after?
I don't know.
Oh.
Man, they're being like extra honest.
And he's probably thinking, are you serious? Like, there's not even a plan of taking care of them after their sacrifice.
You don't know.
At least you can at least tell them that you'll do what you can. Like to take care of their families.
But he doesn't even know that. It's like...
Why didn't you initiate an emergency shutdown? Why didn't you press the AZ5 button?
Dyatlov. Probably.
I did.
Oh.
I reported the increase to Akimov, and he pressed the button.
Or did he?
Leonid, that's not possible.
He did. I swear. I saw him.
No. Never mind.
That's when it exploded.
Oh, that's when it exploded?
What? Which room is Akimov?
27.
Do they know who she is? I guess they're letting her do what she's doing.
Mm.
She's not sneaking around.
Why would that happen? I shut it down. I pressed SF5.
You come round, Akimov.
I did everything right.
She's like trying to find the hole in the logic, like what went wrong.
I feel like she's realizing something we don't realize.
Right. Because
Like,
we're not nuclear physicists.
Oh, you're not?
Not anymore. Oh my god.
Gosh.
Get out of here.
God, this.
Let me go. Stop it. Stop it.
Maybe she'll explain it to her.
You let her in that room, inside the plastic, touching him. Did you know she's pregnant?
It's not true.
What have you done? What kind of a place is this? Where is her protection? Do you have any idea what you're dealing with?
Of course I do. Please, I don't.
No. People are going to hear about this.
Wait.
People are going to hear. Do you understand? Everyone is going to hear.
What is everyone going to hear?
I'm with the official Chernobyl Commission. I've been authorized by Valery Legasov. You can check this. My name is Ulana.
We know who you are. What is everyone going to hear?
Who is this guy?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Are those just
agents or something?
Right. Oh, that's kind of like the thing. You remember they have like these agents going around, like the people that were following him, following them in their conversation, like undercover spies.
After thousands of sorties, our brave helicopter crews successfully extinguished the fire. The miners are working heroically to ensure that the fuel does not reach the groundwater. And furthermore, there's no longer a threat of additional explosion. Professor Legasov will now speak about the work that remains.
Thank you. Deputy Chairman Shabina has given you the good news, and it is good. The immediate danger is over. Now I'm afraid a long war must begin. There is an enormous amount of radioactive debris and contamination spread out across a zone of approximately 2,600 square kilometers. This entire region must be completely evacuated.
Did he know he was going to say that?
To every town, every village to ensure this. All animals still surviving within the zone, whether domesticated or wild, must be presumed contaminated and will have to be destroyed.
Oh, wow.
To prevent the spread of radiation and disease. In the immediate area surrounding Chernobyl, every rock, every tree, the very ground itself has absorbed a dangerous amount of radionuclides, which will be carried by the wind and the rain if left exposed. We will have to rip up the top layer of Earth and bury it under itself, approximately 100 square kilometers.
Wow, this is like an insane...
It seems impossible task.
We will need to construct a containment structure around the power plant itself.
People just want to be over a bit.
Of course, still be extremely... There will be deaths.
Because they're right around the plant.
What amount of time? And how many men do you require?
We expect this liquidation effort to take 3 years and approximately 750,000 men, including a number of doctors and structural engineers.
The top.
How many deaths?
Thousands. Perhaps tens of thousands.
Wow.
Were there ever that many deaths reported about Chernobyl?
Conrad Chakov.
Larry.
Oh.
My associate was arrested last night.
Oh, he's checking with him directly.
I mean no disrespect, but I was wondering if you could tell me why.
I'm sorry, I don't know who you're talking about.
She was arrested by the KGB. You are the first deputy chairman of the KGB.
I am. That's why I don't have to bother with arresting people anymore.
But you are bothering with having us followed.
Yes, people are following you. People are following those people. And you see them? They follow me. The KGB is a circle of accountability, nothing more.
You know the work we're doing here. You really don't trust us.
Of course I do. But you know the old Russian proverb, trust but verify. It was very nice speaking with you.
Wow. So
I need her.
Exactly. But my friend, you see.
So you will be accountable for her? Then it's done.
Her name?
I know who she is.
Oh, exactly. You were.
Good day, Professor.
Then you were lying
Right.
about her in the beginning.
You're right.
They didn't hurt me.
But they took her book, I bet.
To let a pregnant woman into a room with a... Oh, doesn't matter. Dyatlov won't talk to me.
Yeah, understandable.
Akimov, yes. Doktorov, yes, but... Valeri. Akimov, his face was gone.
You want to stop?
Is that a choice I even have?
I think despite the lies, even this, you are compelled. The problem has been assigned and you will stop at nothing until you find an answer, because that is who you are.
A lunatic, then.
A scientist.
Is that the same guy that showed up in the hospital?
It looked like it.
Akimov says they shut the reactor down, and Doktorov confirms it. They pressed AZ5.
Apparently not soon enough.
No. They say Akimov pressed AZ5, and then the reactor exploded.
After pressing it?
If it had been just one of them, I would have put it down to faulty memory or delusion even.
Is the design wrong?
They both agreed. They were adamant.
Does that mean all the designs are wrong at every nuclear power plant?
Do you think it's possible?
I think it makes no sense. I think it's what I would say if I was trying to cover my own mistakes.
But they're in their deathbed. There's no reason to...
I believe them.
Then you should pursue it. We have to pursue every possibility, no matter how unlikely, no matter what or who is to blame.
Like the button to shut down the core is just the...
Inactive. It's like a...
And re-interview Akimov and Doktorov. If they're still awake.
It's like a fake...
Still alive.
Oh...
I wonder if they killed them early. You know, because he already knows they're not. Like, because they were talking.
Is it because they were talking, or is it because...
Probably. I mean, they were very much like in the last moments.
Yeah. Already anyway. Yeah. Like if they're able-bodied men between the ages of this and this. Look at them. It's like young. Yeah, it's like a draft.
It's like a war draft. Oh my goodness.
And they don't have a choice? I mean, they would all choose, or a lot would choose no, but... I guess no different from war draft, there's a potential for there, if you're in an active war, for there to be war, you know, deaths. Was they doing a burial? Well, I guess for them, because I mean, they were like the firefighters who helped pour out the fire. All the wives. Man, so many widows. Oh, they're buried all together.
Yeah.
Oh, concrete?
That's just an awful thought.
Do you think they're burying them like this specifically as like a
no chance of being like redug up at all?
Well, no, not necessarily that, but like their bodies are fully like
radiated. They're
like
probably still
radiation.
giving off radiation, so it's almost like a safety measure too, because it can seep into the ground, you know. Wow, that's just awful.
Yeah. Did they really bury him that way?
I mean, it'd be crazy to make this.
It creates like a finality, right? Like,
yeah.
It's a crazy shot.
Ugh.
Wow.
Well, every single episode, you're just left with this, like, I can't even believe it.
Man, so much.
Too much is happening.
Like the beginning of this episode was about those 3 guys in the water tank.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, trying to close the tanks. And we didn't even hear, I mean, we heard from the professor what's going to happen to them. I think the same type of thing. But I figured because they were protected,
it's not going to be as quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, because the firemen were completely exposed.
Completely. As it was like burning, like.
And then where's that one engineer that they made go look into the core?
Oh,
and his face burned. Was he there? It was hard to recognize. I think the 2 that they interviewed were just 2 of the guys that we saw in the first episode, like on the ground with the Dyatlov.
Yeah, those were the 2 guys that went back to turn the valves.
Yeah. So we haven't seen like the other guy who was holding the door open, like what happened to him. Like we could just assume, well, she did say there's dozens of other men. So I think it's probably a lot of the factory or the plant workers were all out there.
But then the hospital's just full.
I think so. It's like the closer you are from the time it happened, the sicker you are. So people like the firefighters or the people that were there, remember they called in employees, the day crew, they called them in. So maybe those are the people who are like extra sick right now. And then the people from maybe from the city, the nearby city, some are getting sick, but it's still sustainable. Yeah. But I don't know if any of them got, like, I don't know if there's a 100% chance for the people who all left. I may have mentioned this before, that they're going to have something, or if like, because even though it was only 2 or 3 days, maybe there is like a 50-50 chance that they're okay and don't get anything.
The problem they're going to run into, or like, you won't let me look up any information from Chernobyl. No. Is like they're going to run into the problem of correlation versus causation. So it's like these people, maybe 5-10 years from that time, are going to have cancer. They're going to have all these different sicknesses, but they're going to be like, was it caused by that? And you were so far away, like.
Right. Because there's still people that get it.
Or babies born from here with like defects. Abnormalities. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could probably, because think like people still naturally will get cancer and they will, or like they get sick. That's still going to naturally happen. Right. But there's going to be a spike. You can at least attribute that spike to that. On a case by case basis, it's hard to say unless someone who is otherwise, I mean, there's like a higher likelihood. It's like an otherwise healthy young guy one day gets like a cancer that's normally affected older men or something.
Yeah.
Then it's like, okay, there's a good chance that it came from the radiation exposure. But it's crazy how a lot of.
So it's like now when those people 50 years from the event die, is it like.
Right. Was it from
do those go into the calculated deaths
like
from
Chernobyl?
The casualties. Yes. I don't know.
I don't know. They probably have. They probably assume there's still people even to this day that are affected by it, but there's going to be like immediate number. Like the 750,000 people that are going to be working it for the next 3 years. I think when he said how many deaths, he was meaning like more like short term, imminent, not long term. Because like maybe tens of thousands may die within a short time frame, but still a lot of those workers over the years will get sicker faster and
right. Like I want to hear about the men that they sent down at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
Like those.
It's also kind of crazy how the mine workers are just kind of like, it is what it is. Like they've accepted. They understand the greater good.
But I also think there's that sense of like, maybe it's not as bad as they think. Like no one's there. Like they've been there for,
He's like, are they going to take care of us?
That was the most annoying part.
Like they're doing all of this.
I don't know.
Like they're working 120 degree heat. But
naked.
But the chief, the main guy kind of speaks for them. And he wants them to be at least taken care of like for this. And maybe they were, or maybe they remember, maybe there's some sort of a severance they get from the government, the families year by year. You would hope, like even like to this day, you get like a something, some stipend. I don't know.
Something.
I don't know. But yeah, but even outside of the miners, like a lot of the other workers, all of the military men, They're all out there with their masks.
They're just out there.
So I know that because they've talked about it one-on-one. The professor and the deputy, he asked him, "What about us?" He was like, "Well, it's a common dose, so probably cancer."
Yeah.
At some point,
it's a consistent. It's like we're around it enough, we're exposed, and it's a consistent dose.
Right.
Like,
it's enough to affect our DNA.
Yeah.
But they know that. But I wonder how many people like that still may not be public knowledge to like the other military personnel that are there.
I doubt it.
This is crazy.
That's why they have this like the KGB. That's the accountability circle.
Yeah.
It's more like you're trying to get too deep into the real information here, so we're gonna.
And that's why they arrested
the
other physicist.
Yes.
So that they're gonna know.
Wow. So I'm trying to remember back to in the very first episode, the tapes he was recording.
Right. It's probably gonna come back and tie that back around because at the time, all we could guess from that was he was kind of talking. He probably just poured out everything that happened, all the secrets, the meetings,
everything. He had to get it all off of his chest.
And that the fall guy was Dyatlov. He was. I mean, I don't know if he's gonna survive. He was pretty close too, but he seems to be not quite as bad.
Well, didn't he end up going to prison? Isn't that what his tape said? Like when he was saying?
That's what I thought too. But then I wasn't sure if I was misremembering.
But you said he was just like the fall guy, right?
Right.
Or so that's what he was.
Because I remember thinking, oh, so maybe he did survive. But because the other guys were right there, like right up next to the core, so they like deteriorated really fast. But then Dyatlov never went that close to the core, but he was in the building.
He was in the building.
So maybe like where he's at now, physically, like some deterioration of his skin is like where it peaks, and then it stops, and then he does recover, but he's still gonna get cancer. Maybe he lives like 3 years versus like 3 weeks,
right?
Or something. I don't know. But he probably in those tapes he probably explains like how they're trying to suppress information, and I mean all the stuff that was probably happening.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that some way or another this show may be based off of a lot of that stuff.
Right?
That information came out.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, like how much of the information is.
Who's just gonna come out and be like, all right, like who's gonna come out and admit that it was mishandled?
Well, now it's like the whole thing of like, okay, the button, the AZ5 was supposed to halt everything, and it's almost like it ignited.
That's why he's like, you don't think like a wire's crossed, it's backwards.
No, I don't think it's something like that. It had to be more of like an intentional thing, but by who?
Or that.
Right.
But which one's more likely that something was done?
It's almost like an ignition of a bomb, right? Like you put that in.
Or if it's already at that, why would they force? This is some sort of a, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. And who? I don't know. I don't know enough about it.
But then also like her reaction to him being so young, or his title.
Yeah. And she's like, and you're the senior. And
I think they're just realizing how
mismanaged,
it was a nuclear power plant, and it requires a ton of experience, and it's very dangerous. And they had young people.
At 25.
Yeah.
But then I'm wondering, like, I wonder if there was a lot of like seniors. I wonder if they were new, and like the seniors before were
given
like
roles because maybe other people
let go at some point. Like they were new too much,
or they weren't, or they didn't want to work at a power plant. They wanted to have like more cush job, like working like in a nice office building. So then this was more like grunt work, or it was given to the younger people.
Yeah, I'm thinking on a different train of thought here. A little too.
What?
Making up things in my head.
Oh.
Like the senior engineers maybe were let go because they were too savvy at that point. Let's say they were like 50-year-olds. They've been working there forever. And they knew too much information.
So they just swapped them out with younger.
They swapped them out with younger because they're easier to control.
Why are they trying to get what they know too much about the faultiness of the design, or they know too much about what?
Or they could know too much. Like let's say somebody went in there maliciously and
could have done
caused this. You know what I'm saying? Behind the scenes, and there had to have been a series of steps take place for this reactor to blow up. So obviously, because they keep saying it's impossible. It's not possible.
They're trying to keep him as need to know as possible. We're only like they bring this guy in, he knows just enough to do the job, but knows nothing
exactly
more. If he knows too much, then swap him out.
And he's obviously, we saw from that episode, like they're way too scared to even go against Dyatlov anyway.
Yeah. So
because
Dyatlov's
imagine Dyatlov a lot older.
Yeah, he's the one older guy.
So, like, why aren't there any older people like him in these higher up positions? Yeah. They're all very young. It doesn't make sense.
Maybe something else is going
on. Like I said, I don't know enough about it, but that kind of is starting to make sense in my head.
Yeah.
Now that they brought up the alarm on their face. Like,
well, you know, there's 2 more episodes, and like at this point, you're like up to this point, you've kind of solved the imminent issue. Yeah. There's still risks involved, but the show's gonna be less about risks and probably
more about uncovering
how it happened. Mm-hmm. Man, this could have easily been like a whole 10 episode thing. That's kind of crazy. Like only 2 more episodes.
I feel like it's gonna. Well, maybe because there's just not a lot of information, like real information out there. So it's like you can only go so far.
I hope the last episode like shows like fast forward to today. What are things like today? How's this like show images of actual Patriot, whatever that town is called.
Well, we can go look it up
after it's done. Yeah. Well, all right. You got anything else?
Nope.
Cool. Good episode. I enjoyed this very much. Hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Please consider subscribing to our channel if you want to check out the full-length reaction to this reaction and others. You can check out our Patreon as well as early access to future episodes that are over there. We got 2 more of this one left, and we'll have something else that'll fill in the slot. So I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with us today. We'll catch you the next one.
Bye.
Bye.